and welcome to this episode of Michael's Backyard Marina. This is a little bit different. I am going to do a boat motor, but there's going to be a boat hook to it this time. I'm actually got about an hour and a half drive ahead of me, so I hopped in the old donkey here, and we're going to head down an hour and a half south of where I live. Found this 14-foot aluminum V-bottom boat. It's a deep-sided V-bottom. Looks like to be in pretty good shape. Comes with a motor, 9.9. Comes with a trolling motor, I think a battery, a gas tank, 2 life jackets. It's got a fire extinguisher, it's got an anchor, it's got everything I need to go drop it in the water. So this is the boat I've been waiting for, I've been looking for. I missed out on another one that I tried to get earlier this week, actually late last week. This one here, the deal came through. I sent a text to the message to the guy 5 o'clock this morning. He responded at 7 o'clock. This thing had only been online for about 4 hours, or maybe seven or 8 hours, I think it was. But he texted me back and said I already had 2 people in front of me. It's like, oh no, it's like I'm gonna miss out on another one. So I'm having a heck of a time trying to get me a boat that I can test out these outboards on, so I can get you guys some footage of how these boats perform with different size motors behind it. So you can have an idea what to expect when you buy a 4 horse or a 6 horse or 7.5 or 9 or 25 horse to see what it's going to do. So this is going to be my platform boat that's going to be the same boat for all my different tests. So it'll be an apples to apples comparison, which is awesome. So the good news is we're going to finally have that boat, and I'm excited to get it on the water. It's got registration papers. The banana I'm having a little trouble with. If you guys been following me, I'm having some problem with the registration on the banana. Trying to get that sorted out with the DNR, but we'll get that thing on the water eventually, because I want to see what it does with the 15 horse behind it that I've got there. You know, the Johnson 99 with the big secret. I want to get that one on the water and see what it'll do. So the cool part is a lot of the motors I've been working on are short shaft motors. So we've got this boat is for short shaft motors, and I've got a ton of short shaft motors I'm working on, and I want to be able to test them all on the water. So I'd like to be able to go out there and have a test and tune day where I take 2 or 3 motors out to the lake and just run them, get you guys some awesome drone footage, and get some good side footage, and some miles per hour, just to give you some specs, tell you what kind of prop I'm running, whether it's stainless or aluminum, and just to give you the whole realm, so I can educate you guys and educate myself some more on what I can and can't do with the boat motor, or what boat motors will do on a particular boat. And that way you'll have some idea of some variation of a boat you get that's similar in weight and length and whatnot. You know what kind of performance you might be able to get out of it. So yeah, we got a little bit of a drive ahead of us, but hopefully it's worth it. Like I said, the guys that didn't, there's 2 guys that were ahead of me, and the first guy says, oh, I found out I don't have any place to park it. Is what he told the guy. I'm like, well, that seems like kind of a lame excuse, but okay. The second guy says, I'm sick today, I'm not going to be able to make it. So it's like, third in line, 3rd time's a charm, 3rd one's me, I'll take it. So we were able to left the grandkids at home. I got their 4-wheeler started before I left, so they're entertained with grandma, and I'm heading down to pick up me a boat. So we'll be back when I have the boat. Howdy folks, it's the next morning, and welcome to this episode of Michael's Backyard Marina. We have made that purchase. I'm going to take you on a quick tour around it real quick. Well, that'd be the whole point of a quick tour, right? We're going to take a look around it. This is a 1969 SeaNymph. I'm excited to have this boat. It needs a lot of things done to it before I want to be able to trailer it safely and consistently. I'll show you some of the features that I don't like, that I need to correct, but it's got good bones is what I always call it. Everything, any structure, any house, any building, anything, if it's got good bones, excuse me, it's got good bones, then the rest of it's just lipstick on a pig. We're going to start off looking at it from a distance, because I want you guys to take note of where the center line of the boat is to the axle, and how it's sitting on the trailer, and how the back end of the boat, like the end of the trailer's here and the boat's hanging about another 2 foot past the end of the trailer. I got to fix that. The nice thing is the tongue piece is adjustable, so I can just slide that ahead, slide the boat ahead. The bunks underneath aren't sitting flat against the bottom of the boat. They're sitting at an angle. I want to correct that. These little 8-inch tires, these are 480 by 8s. It went down the highway, but man, it doesn't roll across things very nice. I happen to have a set of 14-inch 5 on 4.5 bolt pattern that we're going to throw on there. And then we're going to repack those wheel bearings, and the trailer will be set to go. The lights and everything are in good shape on the trailer. They seem to work. So that's better than any trailer I've bought so far. It's all aluminum construction, obviously. Needs a little washing out. It's not crazy bad dirty in there. Now, I got this thing. It came with a 1977 9.9 Johnson outboard. Came with a deep cycle Everstart battery. I think that's manufactured, or usually those come from Walmart. We'll put a charge on it and see how good a shape it's in. Came with a little Humminbird fish finder. And we're gonna have to do a little work back here. This wood has lost its integrity as far as it's starting to delaminate. It's taking a lot of moisture down through the surface here. And as luck would have it, and that's 3/4 inch plywood is what that's made out of. I happen to have plenty of 3/4 inch marine grade plywood left over from working on the yellow banana. And I got another piece, a 1/2 inch, that I can put right back here to replace this piece, so we can make the wood all brand new again. And this thing doesn't have a cap on top here that would normally protect anything from getting into the edge of the grain. Even if you have it protected, it would protect the edge of the wood. We're gonna have to come up with something to protect that. But as you can see here, it's a SeaNymph. Like I said, it's a 1969. And the cool part is it came with, this trailer is actually a pretty nice, it's a Shorelander brand trailer. So it's a nice heavy duty little trailer. It's all tubing construction. It's not just channel construction. But I'm pretty thrilled with what I got to start with. This is what a reason I bought this. Looks like it's missing a couple screws here. We'll get her all doctored up. Was planning on putting it on the water this coming weekend, but it's now Wednesday, and I think I got just too much to do before I want to put it on the water and start testing out outboards. But that's the main reason I got this boat, is I needed a short shaft boat to test outboards on that I'm working on. So I'd love to, I get them running, I run them in the barrel, but I'd really love to get them out on the lake and just see what they do, how they perform, give you guys some feedback on, you know, how many miles per hour to push a boat like this, and so you have an idea, if you're out looking for a motor, what you might need to push your boat at approximately how fast you want it to go. So as you can see there, it's a Shorelander trailer. Came with the trailer tongue jack on it. So I'm pretty pleased with the purchase. We got, like I said, we got a lot of work to do, but overall it's a really wide boat. Yeah, the widest point on this boat is just over 61 inches, so it's over 5 feet wide, which is really cool. Back at the back, there you go, it's right at 50 inches corner to corner in the back. So you get kind of a look at the profile of the boat here, kind of shining into the sun a little bit. But yeah, it's a nice wide boat for the 14-foot width or length we got here. So it should be pretty stable in the water. Great for testing a variety of motors. I've got to go all the way up to like a 25 horse outboard that I'd like to test on here that I'm working on right now. So we'll see. It should support it and shouldn't be too unsafe to do it. Well, that's her in all her glory. I'm gonna have to get busy making a list and checking it twice. And let's see if we can make this boat real nice. Okay, not real nice, but nice enough to do what I need to do with it. Well, I've made me up a quick little to-do list to get things done on the old SeaNymph to get it water ready. It's time to get started on that list. I think we're gonna start by, let's power wash the inside of that boat out and get that cleaned up. It never ceases to amaze me what some people call a decent repair or fix. Here they put just two, I would presume, regular pieces of plywood maybe. I doubt they're marine grade, maybe they are. But never laminated these two together, glued them and put them together. And then also, as you can see here, these could have stood to be a little longer to give more support to this bag. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, is over here I'm gonna make this cut so it cuts out and fits this a little bit better. But to give this back end as much strength, this is just regular old aluminum, nothing fancy. It's got a piece of wood on the outside here that looks like it'll peel right off. And put a little bit of silicone on it. But I think we can do her one better here. Make it do a little bit better. But so I've got some leftover 3/4 inch marine plywood. We're gonna laminate it, we're gonna seal it and protect it, and then we'll bolt it back in here with stainless bolts. All right, folks, what you saw me do there beforehand was I didn't like all the swirl marks that somebody tried to do an attempted polish with, so I put a 80 grit sandpaper to it, and I gave it a consistent finish so it doesn't look like some redneck joke. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take and do an acid wash, or basically a hull brightener. I've got this Napa Max aluminum brightener, works in seconds. We're gonna give that a try. We're gonna squirt this thing down and see if it gets rid of all these stains that are on the boat, and we're gonna go from there. Well, there you have it, folks, before and after. If you don't believe that stuff works, then you're a man that can't see. Night and day. You guys are gonna think I'm a little bit nuts, but I decided that I've got this thing on acid wash or brightener or whatever you want to call that stuff. It works really good. I highly recommend it. It is amazing how well it cleaned up this aluminum boat. But now we got a lot of raw bare aluminum here, and I want to go ahead and I'm going to shoot it with some clear coat. And I'm just going to rattle can some Duplicolor automotive acrylic enamel on it to offer it up some protection, so that when I take it out of the water, it'll rinse off quicker, because this raw aluminum will hold on to a lot of particulates, and this will help kind of seal off the surface and protect it from oxidation and all that kind of fun stuff. So we're going to go ahead and give that thing a rinse down or shoot it down with some of this, and we'll see what it looks like afterwards. Well, that laid out real nice. That only took 4 cans. Probably could have got it done in 2, but I wanted to cover it real nice. But that turned out really nice. That's going to give it some really good protection. Well, we're gonna finish sawing the shape out. As you might have saw in part of the video, I set this in there. Then I traced around the back of the boat so I could get this line to follow perfectly, or you know, really darn close. But you're probably asking, why am I doing it out here on a barrel? Well, I got the clear coat in there drying. I don't want to get a bunch of sawdust stuck on it, so we're doing it out behind the shop on top of a whole scrap barrel. Now we have the boat out in the sun curing, and now we're gonna come inside here, and we brought the trailer inside. We're gonna move things ahead. We're gonna move the winch up here ahead so it can accept the boat and sit in a better position on the trailer than it did before. Okay, we got the old 9.9 that came with the boat. We're gonna do a quick little service on the old gear oil before we take it out tomorrow. And the good news is 0 water. Just how to see how much oil does come out. Looks like she's draining nice and thick as gear oil typically does. But you know me, I'm gonna fill this bad boy back up with AMSOIL. There we go. Oil is changed. Let's take a look at them spark plugs. Folks, we're going to do the minimal to this motor. It ran when I picked it up. I'm hoping it's going to be pretty reliable. We'll try it. But I'm going to give it my best shot just to go ahead and put any plugs in it. It's looking a little dark. So at least we'll start off with fresh plugs. It's worth changing. All right, I had some of these in stock. They're gapped at 30 thou, 0.030 for those that don't speak the language. So we're going to start off with some fresh sparky sparks. there's the old 99 I got with the boat, sitting there purring like a kitten. We've had it out in the water for a couple hours, been running great. Had to do a little dialing of the old lean mixture knob so it wouldn't die on idle, but now we've got that straightened out. It's working pretty good. We're gonna load up the trailer and boat on the trailer, and we're gonna head home. All right, we're out here testing the old 6-horse Evinrude Fisherman on the back of the 13.5-foot SeaNymph. We're gonna see how fast it goes with just myself in it, and then 2 people that weigh 275 pounds. We'll see how well it'll push this boat along. Stay tuned. We'll give you more details when we're done. All right, folks, you saw it out on the lake today. There it is in all its glory. Performed well. Can't complain. We already taken the motors off of it. As you can see, the new transom plate there. New transom plate there. We had 6 gallons of gas. We had over 550 pounds of beefcake riding in the boat today. But that's what she did. She turned out pretty good. Pretty happy with it. We'll get that 25 horse I'm working on done. We'll stick it on here and see how fast we can make this boat go. Well, folks, I hope you guys had as much fun as I did today. I had an enjoyable time working on that boat. Picked it up Tuesday evening or afternoon, late afternoon. Worked on it throughout the week. Put in a real long day Saturday. I think we worked on it for 19 hours. Had to make one trip to town and back for hardware, but we ended up, I was up from 6 in the morning until 2 a.m. So it was like, what, that's a 19-hour day? Something like that? I don't know. It's a lot of hours. I can't even add it up in my head right now. I'm still tired. Still, it's Sunday, the next day, and we had the boat out on the water, and I'm still dragging a little bit, but we had a good time. You guys got to see that old Johnson 99. Now, I haven't done any carburetor work. I haven't done a water pump on it. It was pumping water when I test run it with muffs. So I was just like, okay, let's just take it out there. After we run it for a day, we'll bring it back here. I'll do the water pump on it. I'm probably going to take that carburetor off and put a fresh carb kit in it, make sure the gaskets and everything's sealed up nice and tight. Because at first it did have a little trouble staying running at idle. I got the air mixture adjusted just right. Then it started running like a top. I was totally pleased with it. We ran that thing we were out in the water for over 2 hours. Pretty much just running around, seeing what it would do, and just giving it a little bit of an endurance test, I guess you might say. But we had a great time. Got a little bit of drone footage, as you'll see in the video here, and but it was great. It was great. I encourage everybody to get out there and do some fun, have some fun like that. Like I said, I picked that boat up pretty reasonable. I'm on the water with the trolling motor, an outboard. We redid the trailers. You saw those little trailer tires. I get little 8-inch trailer tires. I've got 12-inch trailer tires on order. I tried to put 13s on it. They wouldn't fit underneath the fenders. We did shift that trailer was all out of whack, just like I said in the beginning of the video. We ended up shifting that trailer axle back 1 foot from where it was. So I was actually, because that way it has 2 holes on each of the axles, each side of the axle. So what I did is I took the bolts out, we slid it back, used one of the existing holes and drilled 2 new holes so that thing is back balanced where it was. We pulled it down the road today at 70 miles an hour, just pulled like a dream. We're running about, if I had to guess, about 60 to 70 pounds of tongue weight on it right now. After being out of the water, my son's a big guy. He's 6'5", 275. I'm used to be 6'2", 6'1", 275. So get an idea of the proportion of the size of the people that were in that boat today, looking at the video. And it actually has a decent amount of room, and it actually pushed the boat okay. 12 miles an hour, not awful. I'm excited to get a 25 horse and a 35 horse stuck on the back of that and see how fast it'll go, because I think that'll move along pretty good. My understanding from what I've read in some blogs is these SeaNymphs have been rated up to, it's 13 foot 5 inches long, but have been rated up to 40 horsepower, which I think's an enormous motor, but it feels like it'll handle it just fine. But yeah, I had a 6-gallon gas tank in there. I've got a 29 series deep cycle battery in there, which I didn't have to use today. We had the trolling motor and the battery in there for just in case, because I don't want to paddle a boat if I don't have to. I would just throw that trolling motor back on there and just troll back to the dock to get us out of trouble. But I also had to put a paddle in there. Had a paddle, life jackets, fire extinguisher, whistle, had all the an anchor, had all the legal beagle stuff to be on the water according to what the DNR regulations are. But and you guys saw that transom worked out great. That thing is so rigid now. When I put those 2 3/4 inch pieces of plywood together with some PL 300 adhesive, you saw the zigzag pattern. I know I went through that in high speed or in time lapse, but I put that together, and I put it together with some screws, and then I covered the whole thing in poly resin, so it's sealed up all the way around 360, the whole thing, and then I put some gel coat on it just to harden up the poly resin. But we had a good time. You guys got any questions? I highly recommend that Napa aluminum bright. Holy crap, that stuff is amazing. If you got some dingy, dull, raw aluminum rims or wheels, or a boat like that, or some pontoons, I mean, literally, this is spray on. I use the power washer to power wash it off. Wash it off, and it was bright and clean. And then I couldn't be happier with how the clear coat turned out. I just sprayed that rattle can clear coat on it. Turned out great. I made me some decals, as you saw on the side of the boat. Put those on it. Had a little fun with that. And yeah, it was a labor of love, you might say. But yeah, now I've got me a boat to try all these little motors out on that I've got. And I'll give you guys some comparisons. We ran that little 6-horse motor. Little 6-horse Fisherman. Nothing fancy there. Runs like a top. But 6 miles an hour is as fast as it push with me and my son in the boat, or just myself in the boat. 6 miles an hour was it. It was just, it's funny. It's better than paddling, I'll guarantee you that. So if you need a little, and I tell you what though, that thing at an idle or just above an idle, you can run it about 1.5, 2 miles an hour for trolling, and it's so quiet, and it just sips the gas. So if you guys are into trolling or into doing that stuff, this is the motor for you to get. Guys, like I said, get out there and have some fun. We worked our butts off this week so we could go out there and have some fun for a few hours on the water, and bring you guys some, hopefully some content that's helpful for you. This is the first motor I brought into my shop here since I started working on these outboards that I didn't do much to. I heard it run when we picked it up, and then it went on the water. I didn't even test run it after I got it at the house here. I just knew it ran. I put new spark plugs in it, changed the oil like you saw, and took it out. And yeah, it was a little rough at the beginning, but once I got that needle adjusted a little bit, it ran great. It started good, and took a chance. I knew I had a backup motor in the vehicle, and I knew I had the trolling motor, so I wasn't too worried. But I bet you we covered close to 10, 12 miles today total, just riding around in that boat. But yeah, it was a good time. Guys, get out there and have some fun. I could rattle on forever. I know you guys don't want to hear me talk. Let's see some drone footage here. And you guys get out there and have some fun. And I'll see you on the next video. Hey, subscribe if you like the channel content. You want to see more, hit the notification bell. And give me that thumbs up if you liked what you see. That helps me out, and helps me get more views and all that kind of fun stuff. So, guys, get out there and have some fun. This is Michael, and I'm out.